Welcome to Cooking with the Mitten and Beyond. Tonight I am doing cottage pie. Cottage pie is different than shepherd's pie because we don't use lamb. That's the differences. So many of my immigrants from Cornwall came over and went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, worked in the mines there, brought a lot of their recipes, and people from the Upper Peninsula called Yoopers. So I'm half Yooper, half troll. Anybody who lives below the Mighty Mac is a troll. So since I got that out of the way, I'm going to try to adjust my camera for you to see. I have my potatoes going for my mashed potatoes, and I'm going to get my onions and garlic ready. Cut your onions in half. Makes it a lot easier to skin than it would if you cut it a different way. So they say. All right. So some of you guys asked me about my slap chop, which I have here. This one I got off QVC. It's a great one. You can push the front and it cleans itself up. See, my pan is getting hot, so let's go ahead and slice these ends off, get the peel off. We always start with onions and garlic first, in butter. Okay, and here we go. So before you put your meat in, that flavors your meat. Okay, get the other one off. So I use one onion. Sometimes onions can be very overpowering. Okay. There's my one onion. Okay. I'm going to throw that in our pan. Bring this down a little bit. Scrape our onion in, throw the flat chop. Okay. Next thing is to get my garlic. Okay. Remember, crush it. Easier to peel it that way. Okay. If you find it's not, crush again. Okay. Get the skin off there. Got my handy dandy mincer. And we're going to mince the garlic into the onion. Might have to mince it a couple times because sometimes some of it comes up to the side. Mince again and get more. Okay, we're going to cook that for a little bit, and then we're going to add our hamburger in. At this time, I have my potatoes going, and potatoes normally take about 20 to 25 minutes to cook. These onions won't take that long. Once they start getting a little clear looking, then you're going to add your hamburger in. Butter browns them too, as you can see. Gives them a little color and flavor rather than oil. And you don't want raw onions in your pie. So let's see if I can adjust this a little bit more for you. And I forgot to open something. So, this is going to be fun. As this is still cooking, I'm going to do an old-fashioned thing here. I am going to poke holes in this beef broth. I need only a cup of beef broth, so sometimes your cans give you a little more than a cup. Okay, there we go. I'm going to throw my hamburger in. Looks like it's about time. I've used 1 pound, I used 2 pounds. It depends on how meaty you want your pie. Okay. So we're going to cook our hamburger up. I have an electric stove, so I got it on about a 5 right now. And I'm going to make sure sure I mix it in with the onion and garlic mixture too. So that's going. I use 1 packet of onion soup mix. With this, I'm going to mix it in with the beef broth. It's so much easier to get into the meat. Okay. I'm going to stir this up. There's some of my stuff here. Okay, we want to make sure our meat is completely cooked. This, and I promise you, this is not hard. Okay, I see my potatoes are starting to get hot, so I'm going to put my lid on, timer on for about 20 minutes. This helps it from splattering everywhere, and it's just a nice little tool to have when you're cooking, because I don't like the water going into my face while I'm cooking. All right, so a little more. Doesn't usually take too long when you use cast iron, because cast iron heats up in cold heat very well. And this doesn't really look like it's going to need a lot of draining, because it doesn't look like a lot of fatty hamburger. So let's go ahead, a little more cupping. I don't think so. So every English meal likes their Worcestershire sauce. So you take about 2 tablespoons worth. 1, 2. Okay. And mix that in. Get your meat some flavor there. Still see some pink. It also kind of cooled off the cooking a little bit too. Now we're gonna, if it's not fully done, you're still gonna do 40 minutes in an oven. Okay, but I like to make sure mine is all completely done. So now, next thing, the onion soup mixture and the beef broth, a cup of it. I'm gonna pour it in here and mix it in really well. So there's some extra kind of oniony flavor there. Okay. And we're gonna turn this up a little bit so we can get the beef broth cooking down a little bit. As we do that, I get some frozen veggies, beans, corn, and carrots, and I don't even microwave them. I throw them in our mixture as well. And mix them in, and they will slowly cook in here. As this is cooking and the potatoes are cooking, this is just like the final ingredient here. I'm going to prep for my mashed potatoes. So I'm going to use my blender, and I'm going to move it over there for you in just a second. Okay. So that's taking some time to cook. Potatoes are boiling. Don't get dizzy. All right, so here's my KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to put about a stick of butter. Get ready for this, because when I put the hot potatoes in here, this is going to melt nicely. All right, and make sure there's no paper on it. Okay. I'm going to add some more garlic. You can never have enough garlic. So, I'm gonna see if I can pull some of the stuff up on here so you can see. I don't know if that's gonna work real well. There we go. So I get elephant garlic, the elephant size. So I just love garlic. remember? Crush it. And it comes right off. And I'm going to mince it in there. Okay. There's that. Remember, another time, because a lot of times it goes up on the sides. So let's mince it again. All right. And get that in there. Now, usually put in about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. All right, so this has got a little bit of lumps in it. So I crush those, so or Parmesan, or a 1/4. Okay, and then I will add the milk in a bit, and we will go from there. Let's go back to our pan. See how we're doing cooking down. Okay. Put this down a little bit more. Potatoes are rumbling. This is nice and hot. And I'm going to add a little spice, some crushed red pepper flakes. Everybody seems to like them. If you're like me though, don't put too many in. I cannot really do a lot of spicy stuff. So just be very sparingly if you like it a lot, and if you don't, because it can be spicy. All right. I want to check my potatoes. This does get very hot. Yeah, they're still pretty hard, so we're gonna keep going. And let's add a little more heat to this one so we can get this the liquid kind of broken down. Or reduced, as they would say. And once you get it reduced, you're going to put it in a pan like this. I'm at this time going to do 350 on the stove and get my oven ready. Okay. And I can come back in a few minutes when everything is reduced, so you don't have to see the pouring video, and then work on the potatoes. I'll be back for part 2.